Welcome to a short video review of the new Nikon J1. This camera is kind of a bridge product, which is in a market between digital SLRs and compact cameras because it features interchangeable lenses while being compact, and it has no mirror inside as the SLRs. So let's take a look at the device now. Obviously, there is a big button for changing the lens. Above it you will find the autofocus assist lamp, and underneath the interchangeable lens button there's an infrared sensor. Let's take a closer look at the lens now. This lens has an f-stop of 2.8, which isn't so great at all, but it's okay. It has a focal length of 10 mm, which would be the equivalent of a 27 mm lens on a classical film camera. Let's switch to the rear side now. As you can see, it's pretty clean. You will only find the necessary controls, and this is good. So this is the flash button. It is a mechanical pop-out flash. The mechanical build quality of this flash isn't overwhelming, but it's okay. On the right side you find function keys. You have a scene mode or mode select dial and other additional operating buttons, for example a display key, a play key, an additional jog dial, and a menu key, and of course a trash can for deleting pictures. The controls are very efficient. At the top side of the device you have the on-off switch, a big shutter key, and beside it an additional key to activate the movie mode of the camera. I already spoke about the 10 mm pancake lens, but obviously most people would go for a cheaper lens and most people would like to have zoom. So the 10 to 30 mm lens would be the weapon of choice for most people, which would buy this as an entry-level camera. So the 10 mm, as I already explained, would be the equivalent of 27 mm on a classical film camera. The 30 at the end would be the equivalent of 81 mm. Although there is one thing you should take into consideration, because if you attach the 10 to 30 mm lens, the camera loses its small appearance because it's much bigger than. If you want to go for a compact all-day use camera, you probably should go for the 10 mm lens. It is also the better choice for available light photography. Of course, you can attach the camera to a tripod, and of course there's a battery compartment, and you have a SD card for storing your pictures. And this is what the sensor of the Nikon J1 looks like. But of course you buy a camera for taking pictures, and that is what it looks like to shoot a single picture. But it also features a nice continuous shooting mode. Pretty fast, isn't it? But the real impressive thing is it has a high-speed continuous shooting mode, which I'm going to activate now. It's called electronic mode. Take a look at that. 60 frames per second. Want to hear it again? Let's go. And now let's take a walk through the menu structure. The menu of the Nikon J1 is very efficient. It is separated in three main compartments: a play, a record, and a settings mode. Let's at first take a look at the play mode. You can delete pictures, you can have several kinds of slideshows with your taken pictures, you can rotate the pictures inside the camera, you have print options, you can protect them, you can rate them. Here is the menu for rating. You have additional lighting options. You can set or change the lighting of a picture after taking it. You can resize images. You can crop images. It saves the copy then. And you can even edit movies, setting the start and the end point. In the record mode you have several options. For example, you can select between several exposure modes. You can set the image quality if you prefer RAW or JPEG or both. You can set the image size, 3 options there. You can switch between continuous single frame and electronic high-speed shutter mode. You have options for metering. You can set the white balance, of course. You will find a very sophisticated menu for ISO settings. You have several options for auto modes and manual modes. You have a picture control menu for vivid or neutral looking pictures. You have even custom controlled pictures. You can set the color space, active delightening, long exposure noise reduction, and high ISO noise reduction. You have an interval timer. You can set the focus mode, and you can even shoot using manual focus. You can select the autofocus area mode, and you have a face priority option, face recognition feature, and built-in AF assist lamp can be switched off. The settings menu also features several options. You can format the memory card, for example. You can select if you want to have a welcome screen. You can adjust the monitor brightness or display a grid if you believe in the rule of thirds, for example. And sound settings, very important. This camera can shoot absolutely silent, which is important for some conditions. As you can see, there are several options. I will not go into every one. You can take a look at the video if you want to see those, but I just will mention some of them. Flicker reduction, for example, is interesting. If you are shooting monitors, you can adjust that to which frequency you would prefer. And of course, standards like language setting. And interestingly, even the firmware can be adjusted for the lenses. But now I'd like to show you some video, because as you know, the camera can shoot video, and it shoots in, for example, in 1080p. And this footage you are now seeing until the end of this video was all filmed by the Nikon J1. It offers a very, very good picture quality, as I think. So, and I like to use the time while this video is playing to give you some verdict about the camera. After having tested it for a while, I think there are some things I like, and I only found one thing I disliked. The things I like is it has a very decent build quality. It's solid metal, it's not plastic, it's great. It's great in the hand. It has a great haptic. It delivers a very decent picture quality for a camera that size, and it is at the right price point, I think. What I didn't like is the 2 lenses I have. The 10mm lens especially, I think, is not a very great lens. I would wish for some good, really good lenses in the near future. So let's see and hope Nikon will come out with some great lenses, and then this would be my everyday camera, which I will have with me all the time. So thanks for watching my video, and please feel free to comment.